We left Hanoi behind, not knowing this trip would take us deeper into the mountains than we'd ever been. As the air cooled and the hills rose around us, the road began to feel like it was leading somewhere hidden, somewhere untouched. Our destination? A remote Hmong village tucked deep in the Da Bok Mountains, a place few travelers ever see. By nightfall, we'd be climbing toward a cave hidden in the mountains, a place that felt almost unreal. And when we returned, the village welcomed us with music and dance, a moment that felt like stepping into another world. We left Hanoi at first light and drove for a couple of hours as the city faded into rolling green hills. Somewhere deep in the countryside, we pulled into a charming open-air roadside cafe, the kind with mountain air drifting through and strong Vietnamese coffee brewing, the perfect little break before heading higher into the mountains. This wasn't just a cafe. It was a little oasis, a thriving garden wrapped in fruit trees. As we wandered through the greenery, we came across a towering fig tree. The figs looked huge and ready to eat, but those ones aren't for snacking. They're the kind used in cooking. Elsewhere in the garden, pomelo trees, banana trees, and a whole mix of other fruit trees were thriving, each corner bursting with something different growing in the warm mountain air. It really was a wonderful stop. A peaceful little haven designed to help travelers unwind and recharge before continuing deeper into the mountains. We placed our orders and Ang passed everything along to the owner, who teamed up with his wife to prepare our drinks. They were a genuinely lovely couple, working side by side with an easy, happy rhythm that made the whole place feel even more welcoming. Back on the road, An filled us in on what to expect once we reached the village. A quick rundown of the homestay, the evening activities, and the adventure waiting for us in the mountains ahead.
Family, and we enjoy the beautiful lunch. Yes, the lunch is also really nice as well because everything you eat is from their garden. Yes, and later we will in the afternoon.
We arrived in the village and made our way to the homestay, where the owners welcomed us inside with warm smiles and genuine hospitality. After settling in, we had a bit of free time, so I wandered out to explore the village on my own. Walking along the narrow paths, I started to get a feel for the rhythm of daily life here. Wooden stilt houses, gardens tucked between the hills, and the quiet routines of a mountain community going about its day. The paths leading to the homes were all narrow concrete walkways, just wide enough for scooters, the only vehicles that move through these quiet village tracks. Every home seemed to have its own little collection of animals, chickens and ducks wandering freely, pigs rooting around near the houses, and dogs and puppies trotting along the paths as if they owned the place. Back at the homestay, we stepped into the shared dormitory, the cozy space our group called home for the night. Come along as we stroll around the homestay and check out the different facilities and how everything is laid out. The dining area is to the right. Between the dining area and the restrooms is a wide open patio, and this is where they spread out rice stalks to dry. From the edge of the patio, your view stretches out across the terraced hillsides, layered steps of earth that the locals have shaped over generations to grow their rice. Later on, we sat down to an incredible home-cooked feast. Tender chicken, fresh river fish, and savory pork, all paired with the star of every northern meal, sticky rice. Then came dessert. Sweet bananas and crispy banana fritters, still warm and absolutely irresistible. And as you look up, you can see the roof lined with fan-shaped palm leaves, woven tightly together to shield the home from sun and rain. Later in the evening, we went on a guided walk to the Sưng Cave, a cool, echoing limestone chamber carved deep into the mountains. Its narrow entrance opens into shadowy passages, ancient rock textures, and the quiet, untouched beauty the locals have known for generations. The trek was quite steep in the beginning, with a few of us slipping along the way up. After that first steep climb, the trail finally eased out, leading us into a corridor of thick, tangled vegetation. Towering ferns, broadleaf plants, and dense mountain greenery closed in around us, the kind of lush, untamed landscape that defines these highland regions. A little farther along the trail, we passed a small orchard of cassava plants, their tall, slender stems topped with star-shaped leaves. Beneath the soil, the cassava tubers grow thick and starchy, later turned into everything from tapioca pearls and flour to crispy fried snacks enjoyed all across the region. Along the way, we came across a local farmer working his fields with his prized water buffalo, his most trusted partner on the land. Our guide recognized him instantly, and the two slipped into an easy conversation, catching up on work, family, and village life, while the buffalo patiently waited beside them. I'm pretty sure the buffalo didn't mind the break one bit. He looked genuinely pleased to have a moment of rest from hauling those heavy logs around the fields. Soon, we reached the steep steps dropping down toward the cave entrance. Built by locals rather than to any formal standard, each step had its own personality, the height shifting slightly from one to the next and the drop between them deeper than normal expectations. After descending roughly 60 to 70 steep steps, we finally reached the cave entrance. A fine net stretched across the opening to keep the bats out, but even so, the mouth of the cave felt enormous, truly cavernous in every sense of the word. Glenn lifted the edge of the net for us, and one by one, we slipped inside, stepping into the vast darkness of this enormous cave hidden deep within the mountain. The moment we entered, the scale of it hit us, a secret world carved out of limestone. Its entrance opens into a vast echoing chamber, cool, silent, and untouched. For generations, the local Hmong people have known this place well, but stepping inside for the first time feels like discovering a world that's been waiting in the dark. This cave is a naturally formed limestone cave that still retains its wild, untouched character. The entrance is surrounded by dense vegetation, and inside, visitors find tall chambers lined with intact stalactites and stalagmites and threads of moss hanging from the ceiling. A small stream flows through parts of the cave, marking it as a water cave and adding to its cool, echoing atmosphere. The cave stretches several hundred meters, making it a popular spot for travelers seeking an authentic, undeveloped cave experience. At the far end of the cave, the hiking guide swept his flashlight across the darkness, searching for the spot where the underground stream flowed out. Meanwhile, our guide An and Barbara knelt beside the water, testing its temperature as the cool current moved quietly past their hands. As with many Vietnamese homes and small businesses, a shrine stands at the entrance. Visitors pause here to light incense, offer a quiet prayer, and ask for guidance and protection before stepping into the cave's shadowy depths. With our time in the cave complete, we began the walk back toward the village, taking a small detour into the hills to visit a nearby primary school. On our way back to the homestay, we made a stop at a small family workshop tucked between the stilt houses of Xóm Sủng Village. Here, the owners weave and dye their own cloth using time-honored techniques passed down through generations. The moment we stepped inside, the air filled with the soft clatter of a hand loom and the earthy scent of natural dyes simmering in clay pots. An begins explaining the different pieces of traditional clothing worn by the women of this region.
And this one to cover the leg when they go in the. So this.
Our next stop was a small home business tucked along the hillside, one that specializes in traditional hot herbal baths for weary travelers. The owner, a soft-spoken local man, heads into the nearby forest each morning to gather bundles of medicinal herbs used by generations before him. He boils these herbs for hours as they slowly release their fragrant oils and earthy aromas. When the mixture is ready, he pours 2 large buckets of the steaming herbal concentrate into a massive wooden tub. Visitors then mix in cold water to their liking before easing themselves in for a 30-minute soak. As you sit back, the warm, aromatic water seeps into your skin, allowing the natural oils to work their magic, soothing tired muscles, easing aches and pains, and helping with various skin conditions. I settled into the tub and let myself unwind. I can't say for sure whether the herbs worked any miracles, but the warm, silky water felt incredible, and the gentle herbal aroma drifting upward was surprisingly soothing. It's simple, rustic, and deeply rooted in local tradition, yet incredibly relaxing. We enjoyed a wonderful home-cooked dinner, and afterward, our hosts gathered with us outside for a cheerful group photo to remember the evening. Then came the evening entertainment.
Và ngay sau đây, đội văn nghệ chúng tôi xin gửi tới quý vị.
Next came a charming husband and wife dance, a lively performance that playfully reenacts their daily farming activities. Then they asked us to join them in a traditional dance. They demonstrated the moves, but we all got them wrong. But it was great fun to end the night. Time to end the night. Tomorrow, we go on a 13-kilometer hike through some rugged mountainous trails.